Hi everyone. So here's a listener, someone on my program who I adore, having an absolute rant at me at the program, what we're doing here, and I mean it's really useful for us to look at because I'm sure maybe not to such a huge extent, but we'll be feeling similar, all of us at different times. So let's have a look. Today I'm having a FU, although she didn't abbreviate, Clare moment. Honestly, you have 1 minute of feeling nice, and there she is with the first well module, that's our current course, bringing in the misery. Reporting happy moments, she won't have any of it. And now even journaling on things you're grateful for is now not allowed. I don't know that I've said that. It's like that friend you used to, I'm not friends with any of them now, that no matter what you say, puts a downer on it, pisses on your fire. Or I can go study human design that shows how the mind body is made and the God portals to explore what we really are, but minus all the misery and suffering. I'm feeling so angry I have to continue with this stupid, miserable, navel gazing course, suffering hunting all the time. Fuck you, Claire Diamond. The rest of you are all right. That's in our group. Oh my God. Okay. And so then I went back to her and said, tell me in one sentence, what's the issue here? And she said, okay, I'll listen again. But it was something about about you saying your symptoms will probably get worse. Nothing in particular, just feeling in a good mood, and then you just not allowing that for even one moment, putting a downer on that good mood, denying it, saying that's not true or reality, saying instead we want freedom. I thought, fuck this, fuck freedom. Just leave me for once to be happy. I'll take that over freedom. I'm done. Oh my goodness. So that's an honest rant, and I know for sure we'll all have versions of that. So the essence of it is why look at suffering? Why don't you leave me alone to be happy and to study the things that I want to study? Um, why is life not orientated towards happiness? Or why isn't this exploration oriented towards happiness? And it's a good question, isn't it? Because it's a good question because that is what we've been doing all our lives, isn't it? That's our natural inclination. And, you know, that's the ongoing quest of really of being a human in a human body, is to do everything we can to be happy, to be peaceful, to be free. Yeah. So why in this conversation are we talking about suffering? That for me is the essence of this question. We're Because essentially, because that quest for happiness, that quest for freedom, that quest to be loved, to be right, to have the things that we think will finally make us secure, that quest is what leads to all our problems, because it's a quest that is coming from an unquestioned, unhealed, unintegrated, insane mind. And really, deep down, we know this because this quest that we're on to meet the right person, or to have the right bank balance, or to have the right friends, or the right amount of attention, it doesn't result in anything other than a greater sense of lack, a greater sense of not knowing what we are, of instability, insecurity. Because even if we get the thing, we get the person, now we're living with the possibility of losing them or it. There is nothing stable in it. Or even if we get the right emotions, even if we're happy, even in that happiness, when happiness looks essential for our being, in that moment of happiness, we are literally at the same time experiencing what it will be like when that happiness is gone. Because there is no stability in that emotion. There's no stability in any mindset. There's no stability in any experience. Nothing. And so this quest, this orientation towards control, really, that's what it is, control of experience, is our problem. That's why mental health is in crisis. It's why we're all over the place. We're in conflict. We're at war with our families. We're at war within ourselves. We're completely unsettled and insecure because the whole belief system is orientating towards, I will be stable when XYZ. I will be secure when XYZ. I'll be happy when XYZ. So that's why on my courses, I'm terrible, really. I'm not that. I mean, it's great, great if someone gets a new job or a new boyfriend that they think is super hot, or they have a raise at work, or their creations get accepted for an exhibition, awesome. But it's not stability. It's not a breakthrough in terms of self-realization. It might well be a breakthrough in terms of the expansion of capacity and a greater intimacy with life, which is awesome. But there is nothing stable in it. Nothing stable in it. On the other hand, and this is why I get a bad rap on the Reset course, is when there is suffering, when there is something within us that is being deeply confronted, where there's resistance, where there's resentment, where this feeling of need and lack, of shame, that's where I'm interested, really interested, because that represents the collection of hurts and learned lack, learned separation, that has acquired over our lifetime, that has been reinforced by ongoing re-traumatization of the projection of that hurt into creating an apparent reality that then re-traumatizes us. So this collection of hurt, this identity that is being threatened, that really is under survival threat, that suffering is miraculous. That suffering is the pain receptors in the hand when we touch fire. It's the perfection of the design. And in a culture which numbs that suffering, which steers away from it, which labels it as distracting or shameful, something that can't be looked at, that has to be silenced through drugs or sex or food or spirituality, that the gift of that suffering goes completely unrecognized. And so in our Reset courses, awesome, that of course all these good stuff happens. Of course it happens as we get more sane. and we stop living in this made up world fighting that is just an ongoing battle. So of course, a sane mind creates a saner, healthier body, creates saner, healthier relationships, creates an opening space for all our capabilities and talents to be expressed. Of course that happens. And it's not that interesting. So bad, but it's not that interesting because it's inevitable. And it's got really not much information in it. The information is where the identity is challenged, always. So we go into the suffering. I'm not interested in sitting around talking about how realized we are, how great, you know, our spiritual understanding is, you know, this wonderful feeling that we have. Zero interest in that. I am interested in all of us, me included, going into as an attention, putting the attention on where the identity is under threat, because that is the healing space. That's where the information is. It's where the feelings are that need to be felt. It's where the beliefs that are so active can be really seen for the just learned nonsense, craziness that they really are. And it's where these real peak experiences can happen from living in a world in which the identity is under threat from its own creations, to a shift into actual reality where there is no self to secure, there is no identity that is jangling away. It's just intelligence in action. And that's interesting. It's more than interesting. It's a miraculous gift. It's it's a space. It's the open space of healing and sanity and dissolution that changes everything. And so, yes, I understand the rant, and I understand that it's feels so much better, so much safer, so much happier to turn away from any area in our life where the identity is being challenged, and we go nice and safely into these different areas. But if you know, the listener says fuck this, fuck freedom, just leave me once to be happy, I'll take that over freedom, I'm done. That's not an option. Happiness it becomes a transient treasure that we spend our lives trying to hunt out and hold on to. It's completely elusive. It has zero stability in it. It will send us insane, that quest for happiness. Whereas we're in the midst of suffering is the dissolution of all of the layers, all of the conditioning, all of the wounds and the trauma and the hurt that are hiding the permanent bliss of life, the freedom of life. That's what's available, and it's available in the heart of suffering. So, yeah. So no apologies really for what we're focusing on here ever. I mean, really not. This is the only way to look. Yeah, and chasing elusive happiness for the rest of our lives, trying to control and secure it, numb and avoid in order to try to control somehow the emotional experience wouldn't wish that on anybody. Yeah. Thank you. I love you. I do. I love you. And thank you for the rant always. Bye.